Welcome to Tangled and Splattered, where we crochet things nobody needs, but also nobody wants. Join us for today's project, where we will create a pot holder that nobody asked for using this 8mm crochet hook. And for our yarn today, we will be using Peaches and Cream. The internet told me that if I'm making a pot holder, I should definitely be using 100% cotton yarn. And I happen to have this great Peaches and Cream yarn, and it is 100% cotton. Not sure if you can read that here, but it is. Looks like it's also made up north in Canada. All right, so here I am trying to explain how I ruined the first pot holder that I made because I made it way too big. It's too big for my hand. It's way bigger than the previous pot holder. It works really nicely to set large pans on, but it's not great for grabbing things out of the oven. So I'm comparing it to our store-bought pot holder because obviously everything handmade is so much better than store-bought, except that one was too large. So now we're going to make a smaller one, even though nobody asked us to do it. We're going to do it because we want to, because that's what this is about. And here I am trying to show you next to a ruler the comparison of the way too large pot holder and the store-bought pot holder. Because if there's anything the internet loves more than watching people crochet things, it is comparing sizes. And here we have our 2 strands because we do want to have a 2-strand yarn look and thickness. We're just going to unravel them side by side. And we're going to start here with a slip knot. So you can see me make the slip knot with both strands. Okay, now that we're done with our slip knot, we are going to make a chain. And we're not counting how many chains we're making, we're just going to make a chain. And oh, wait, hold on. Shiny. Yes, the crochet hook, the metal of it, very shiny. So pretty. All right, hold on, back to it. Let's start back to the first one, the slip knot, and let's make our chain. Chain 1, chain 2, chain however many you want to chain. There we go. Keep it up. All right, so we're just going to chain until our heart feels like we should stop. And now we're going to fast forward and watch this on super speed. And again, we're going to do a little size comparison. How big is this chain? How does it compare to our old pot holder? And oh, we got it. This is the size we wanted. Now that we're done with the chain, we're going to come back around and do a single crochet in each of the loops on the way back. And you can see pulling out the strands of yarn so that we can get through that. And the first chain you want to make sure is really loose because you're going to have a hard time getting that hook in each of those loops if it's too tight. So here we're going to do a little fast forward action again. You can see us doing that single crochet all the way through that first string of chains. Or do you call it a chain row? I don't really know. I'm not a professional, guys. I learned this when I was a kid. I'm just making this up as I go. So here we go. Now we are getting close to the end. Or are we? I can't tell. Yeah, I think we're close to the end here. So at the end, when you're ready to turn your work, you are, oh, no, we aren't anywhere close to the end. Okay, all right, hold on. Nope, we're doing some more comparisons. I don't know why. Okay, we're gonna keep going. Fast forward through this. Yes. Let's get to the end of this row. All right, here we go. All right, so we are on the last stitch. We are pulling through our single crochet, and we are gonna do a chain 1 so that we can turn our work. So the internet says if you are making a pot holder that the thermal stitch is the way to go. So the way to do a thermal stitch that the internet told me is that you start using the back loop, doing a single crochet, but then you also pull it through the front loop from the prior row. So you're pulling it through two different loops for your single crochet. I know we're a little off camera here, guys. Bear with me, but you will see a few examples of this thermal stitch. So you just do that in a single crochet style all the way across the row until you get to the end, and then you chain one, you turn your work, and you go one row at a time, just like you normally would. So we're just going to keep going here and doing thermal stitches. And oop, we skipped a little bit. We fast forwarded, and definitely you're able to tell what we're doing by watching the shadow of what we're doing on the desk. I'm sure that that is the best way to learn how to crochet a thermal stitch. So there you go, guys. I mean, what more could you ask for here? Something I do want to call out here is that that last stitch can be really tricky to get your hook into. And so you just got to make sure that you're paying attention. Otherwise, you might lose a stitch on each row. Because again, we're not counting, guys. We're just using the prior row to tell us how many we're going. So if you want to count, you can. But I often find that I will lose track of my count. So here we are. We are doing a chain one. We're turning our work. We're going to go back and do another row here, and we're going to see how it turns out. So here we are. We're just going to make one row right after the other. Just keep on doing this thermal stitch. And you know, sometimes you got to pay really close attention to it so it's off camera, and then we end up doing that shadow work. So hopefully you can follow the shadow in this. Realistically, most of this is not that interesting to watch. So we're just gonna fast forward here and cut to the end. Here we are. We are at the end, guys. We got our last stitch done, and now we're going to take our little snippers and we're going to do a little snip snip to cut off the yarn, and then we're going to tie in the ends. It's nice when everything comes together so cleanly and those loose ends are tied up. We love it. Really, thanks for watching. This pot holder is just a bunch of rows. I like making crocheted things that are big squares or rectangles, and then all you have to do is tie it together or fold it up in the end. In this case, there is no folding it up. You just tie in those loose ends and call it a day. What do you want to see us make next? And by us, I mean me, because it's just me. I've made purses, I've made hats, I've made bags. I make a lot of tote bags. I use them when I go grocery shopping, and I get a lot of comments about the bags that I carry around when I grocery shop. So leave a comment, let me know what you want to see me make next, and we'll see if I'm able to get to it. Let me know if you also made a pot holder after watching this video. I'd love to hear about it, hear what your experience was like, and even more than that, I'd love to see a photo. And that's it. We snip off the ends. We're done. Call it a day. It's a great pot holder. It only took us a couple hours to make. Okay, bye.